I have the vision to see what others cannot. The monsters of today will be the heroes of tomorrow. And by my hand will Noxus rise once more.
Hey, what's up guys, Darkbreaker here, and in today's video I will explain to you the new champion Swain that is coming out tonight, and if you guys wanna understand his abilities, how to play him, and what the best item build is in my opinion after trying him out a few times on the test server, then definitely stay tuned. I'll try to give you guys the best tips for Swain, and let's hop right into it. Bam. Let's get started, guys. I'm gonna talk you guys through the abilities of Swain. I think Swain can be very good both in the mid lane as a support and maybe tank Swain build in the Baron lane. But yeah, let's get started with the passive. The passive is Ravenous Flock. Swain collects soul fragments from Vision of Empire. This is the second ability. And Nevermore, that's the third ability. And enemy champion deaths. Soul fragments restore max health based on level and permanently grant Swain maximum amount of HP. So this is the second ability. You get HP back, and with the third ability as well when you're pulling the opponent. So let's get started with the first ability, Descent. Descent is like a shotgun. As you guys can see, you're shooting 5 bolts that are gonna do magic damage. And the closer you are, the more damage you will do, because then you will be able to hit the opponent with all 5 bolts. Like if I shoot at long range, like this, maybe I only hit him with like 2 or 3 bolts. But if I shoot him from short range, bam! 5. And the first ability is your main bread and butter damage tool to clear the wave. So you want to max out the first ability, then the second ability, and the third ability. The skill order is though third ability, second ability, and then first ability. So for the second ability, it's Vision of Empire. You guys can see Vision of Empire has a huge radius and you can use it anywhere. And after short delay, it explodes and it grants you vision. Like you can use it right here and it grants you vision, which is super nice to like use it to check brushes, for example. You wanna see if someone is in the brush? Bam, you use this. So first of all, it slows down the opponent, it gives you vision, and it also grants you a passive stack, which is very awesome for Swain, because he can stack up a lot of HP with the second and third ability to scale into the late game, becoming super tanky. So Swain, in my opinion, is like a tanky mage bruiser, kinda. The third ability is Never Move. Swain launches a wave of demonic power, dealing magic damage. The wave then returns on the first enemy hit, dealing magic damage and rooting enemies in an area for 1.5 seconds. So use it like this, and then you can pull it back. And if you use it like on multiple people, you'll be able to root 2 people at the same time. And then I pull it back, and 2 people at the same time are getting rooted, and they're both taking damage. Pretty much all of your abilities do AoE damage, which is super nice. Second ability does AoE damage, first ability AoE damage, third ability also AoE damage, and you can pull them back. And now for the ultimate. The ultimate is where you're transforming into a demonic raven. It's called Demonic Ascension. Swain frees the demon within for 12 seconds, gaining 125, 200, 275 plus 5 for each soul fragment max health, and doubling the health collected with soul fragments. Swain deals ability damage, magic damage each second, and restores 20, 35, 50 scaling with ability power health per target damage, reduced by 90% against non-champions. Swain then prepares a recast. So after 2 seconds of having this activated, you can recast. And as long as you are near one champion, the ultimate never runs out. You can see the red bar. I go out, it runs out, but as long as I'm close, it doesn't run out. You can see the red bar is now running out. But the moment I come close, I'm charging up my ultimate again, it doesn't run out. Now for the second part, it's the recast of the ultimate. Recast. After recasting, Swain unleashes a demon flare, ending the transformation and dealing magic damage plus 75% of healing from this ability as magic damage. So the longer the ultimate lasted and the longer you healed, the more damage you will do after the recast. Wait, oh, I can't recast right now because of the ultimate on. Wait, hello? Wait, why cannot recast right now? Lol. Okay, let it run out first. I think I had the thing on on 0 cooldown, that's why. Okay, let's see right now. I activate this, and then after 2 seconds I can recast. And it keeps running. Okay. But yeah, that's about it for the abilities, and let's talk about some nice combos that you guys might want to know about this champion. So usually what you wanna do is you can combine your third ability and second ability. So use the third ability first, and then quickly afterwards you use the second ability right in front, and then you pull the opponents right into the second ability so they're taking the damage perfectly and they're all getting slowed. This is your main bread and butter tool, and once they're close to you, you can use the first ability, for example. So let's do it again. So third ability, second ability right in front, you pull them, and then first ability. Bam. And you can obviously also do the reverse, where you're slowing them so you can hit your skill shot. The second ability, no, I mean the third ability easier. So let's say they're running away, you're using the second ability to cut them off, they get slowed down, and then you use the first ability, the third ability to pull them, and then first ability. This is how you want to do it most of the times. Most of the times, obviously, you want to use the third ability because then it's easier for you to chain the second ability because it has some delay before it comes out. Like, look, the radius, 1, 2. So it takes some time before it comes out and pops. So opponents can run out, so it's easier for you guys to chain your third ability or your second ability with someone else's crowd control. So if you have some crowd control in your team comp, it's way better than if you're just blindly trying to hit it. But best case is the opponent is running away and you want to cut them off. Let's say he's running this way, as like he's going this way, and the moment he's running away, you can cut them off and use the second ability to slow them down. And then try to use the third ability, and then pull them in, and then first ability. You can also use some flash combos, but honestly it doesn't really matter too much. Swain overall is more about landing those skill shots. But you can obviously also flash extend like this. Oops. Wait, can I not input trigger? Oops. I should be able to input trigger, right? Like this. So third ability into flash is like the quick combo, and you can also use flash into third ability, which is a bit slower because third ability flash is way quicker. And you can obviously also use like S1 flash to extend the range. Let's say you would not be in range, you can use S1 flash so you get in range. And another combo would be like use ultimate, and then you flash right on top of them, and then nuke them. Boom. Third ability, second ability, bam bam bam, and then pull them in. This is something you can also do, because they will all take so much damage when you're like you're charging your ultimate beforehand. Like let's say I'm charging my ultimate beforehand, and then I'm flash ultimating in third ability, and then I put my second ability right in front and pull them right into my second ability, and then I use first ability. But yeah, Swain overall pretty simple. It's more about landing those skill shots, landing the second ability, predicting how the enemy would run, and then also landing a third ability. trying to land the third ability and pull them in and chain them with your bomb and then pull them right into it. That's pretty much about Swain's ability. And when you use the WE combo like this, I said third ability right, you put it right in front and then you pull them in, you get 2 stacks for your passive. So this is very, very nice. But overall, like I said already, skill shots, skill shots, skill shots. Try to practice it and try to CC chain together with your allies. It's all about the CC chain, comboing your combos with your allies to maximize the crowd control. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the abilities. Swain in the early game, overall, I would say he's solid. You can play him pretty safe and wave clear with the second ability and third ability and first ability. A very safe champion overall in the laning phase. And then in the mid game, you want to snowball. I think if you're not snowballing, Swain is a champion that has a problem that he becomes a minion. Like if you're too squishy that your ultimate can tank because you're not snowballing, or they have too much crowd control, then you might have a problem. We can talk about the pros and cons about Swain really quick, and then I'm gonna talk about the items. So for Swain's strengths and weaknesses, I would say Swain has massive AoE damage. He has really good snowball potential with the ultimate, because the stronger you are, the harder it is for them to kill you. You just run them down. He's super good in team fights. He's really tanky thanks to his passive and the scaling he's getting. Especially with Road of Age, he's scaling so hard, and the itemization, you can make him super tanky, especially with Twin Guard, by the way. He has a lot of crowd control with the second ability and the third ability. And for the weaknesses, I would say in the early game he has mana issues. He's kinda short range with the first ability, and the second ability has a really high cooldown in the early game. I can show you guys the stats. In the early game, the second ability is 19 seconds cooldown, and the third ability always stays at 9 seconds. But remember, I have some items already, so it's longer in the early game. I guess catching people that have like really high mobility is hard for you because you need the crowd control from your allies to catch them easier. Then on top of that, he's very skill shot reliant with the first ability skill shot, a second ability skill shot, third ability also skill shot. So these are the problems I would say about Swain. But I think if you're snowballing, he's a monster that's almost unstoppable. Who's a good comparison? A champion that becomes like unstoppable when he's tanky, but it's not that strong when not snowballing. Honestly, I don't know. But yeah, let's talk about item builds. Okay, let's talk about the item build for Swain. We're gonna talk about a mid lane build, and then afterwards a support build as well. I've made 2 videos already that you can check out as well, where I was trying out builds. I was trying out a poke build for Swain as well, but I'm really not a fan of it. So let's talk about the core items I think are essential for Swain and why they are so good on him. I think number 1 core item is Road of Age. This item is just so good scaling wise for Swain. It provides you with HP, provides you with AP, mana. It's one of the most gold efficient items because it scales. The longer the game goes, once you have the stacked up Road of Age, you get so much value out of it for 2,800 gold only. All those stats are very good for Swain as well. In combination with your passive, you just become so tanky on Swain, which is very good because Swain is a champion that wants to go into the opponents, because you're like going with the ultimate into them, doing so much AoE damage. And then afterwards, I would probably just go Death Cap. Death Cap, obviously, it's boosting everything about you. It's one of the best AP items, give you huge AP bonus, so all of your abilities will do more damage, and you will also heal more with the ultimate. So Death Cap, obviously a must-have on any mage. And Yeah, for the enchantment, I'm just running stasis. Gives you more survivability, or you can dodge some abilities with it as well, like a Camille ultimate or a Z ultimate. You can dodge it. If you guys want to be more tanky, you can obviously run Stoneplate as well to get that shield, or Quicksilver Slash if they have crowd control and you want to block it. Potentially Glory, so you guys can run them down easier. Then I think for the next item, I like the utility value from Rylai's. Yeah, whenever you damage an opponent, you will slow them down with your abilities. So the first ability, second ability, third ability, all of them will slow the opponent down, granting you more crowd control utility. And your ultimate does AoE damage on every opponent when you're next to them. So everyone is getting slowed down by Swain's ultimate when you have Rylai. So this is insane synergy. It makes you more tanky, gives you ability power, and grants you even more utility on top of the utility you already have. So everyone is getting slowed down in a team fight when you're next to them. So Rylai's, big fan of it, makes you tanky. So you have Road of Age granting you HP, Rylai's and your passive, making Swain so tanky. And then Void Staff for the magic penetration, reducing the magic resistance from the opponents, no matter what. Even if they don't have magic resistance items, they have base magic resistance once they are like level 10, like pretty high base magic resistance, so you can reduce it by 40%. So you will do so much damage with Void Staff. I think I'm a pretty big fan of it. And if you guys don't need or don't want the Void Staff because you think, okay, they're pretty squishy, I don't need it, there are so many other good options for you guys to fill in instead of Void Staff. For example, Twin Guard is a great option to make you super tanky, giving you resistance. First of all, it grants you resistance 55 each, and then it grants you tenacity plus 30% resistance on top of your total resistance. Remember, you have base resistance. So let's say, for example, you have 100 base resistance at level 10, you will get on top of the 55 from the item, 30% total. So 150 plus, okay, 155 plus 30% on top. I'm just giving you a random number. I'm not sure if it's 100. It's probably like maybe 60 each. But you guys get what I mean. It gives you so much resistance. You become so tanky with this item. You have from Road of Age, from Rylai's, from your passive, so much HP. And getting resistance means per HP, you get more value because you have resistance per HP. So efficiency wise, this item is so good when you have a lot of HP. So very good item if you guys want to become a tanky super monster. Pretty much. Late game, if you guys want to become a tanky super monster, Twin Guard Swain can be devastating. Then another good item could be Riftmaker, granting you ability haste, omnivamp, and true damage. So pretty much all of your abilities will do or give you more healing, and your ultimate gives you even more healing. So Riftmaker synergy with your ultimate gives you tons of healing. So it's really up to you if you guys want to try Riftmaker as well for even more sustain. We can talk about some good item full options. Morello, if you guys... Okay. Reconnect, please. Morello, if you guys need anti-heal. Liandry, if you are facing tanky champions and you want the percentage damage. Yeah, Liandry plus ultimate. Very easy to proc the Liandry on all of them. Infinitop if they're squishy and you guys want to do more burst damage. And if you guys want to be more tanky against physical damage team compositions, then Reflector is a great option, giving you physical damage reduction. Or Banshee's Wave for magic resistance and the spell sheet, great option as well. This item could be very good. With the crowd control you have, like third ability, plus this item, gives you really good value. Like, remember Cinch players that are running this item. Could work really well with the crowd control that Cinch has from, Swain has from the second and third ability. So I would say Swain is kind of like Cinch, like tank-wise. Just AP tank bruiser that runs people down, kinda. With really high crowd control. I would say Cinch has more playmaking with a flip, while Swain has more long range poke and utility. This works also pretty well. Movement speed, ability haste, you run people down with your ultimate, could work as well. Or even this item. But yeah, I think Twin Guard is just... Twin Guard with the amount of scaling, HP scaling you have from your passive, Rylance and Road of Age, you will be a tanky monster. And for support build, I would run almost the same item build, by the way. Like, the only thing I would switch out is no Void Staff and Twin Guard earlier. And then I would just run Relic Shield. Like, Relic Shield into Road of Age, then Death Cap, Rylance, and then probably Twin Guard. And then for the runes, the only thing I would change is then Electrocute for the early game poke damage. So we are running Conqueror, gives you a lot of AP, gives you Omnivamp as well, which is really good in synergy with your ultimate. Then for the second run, I'm using Gathering Storm, which will grant you a lot of AP. You can also use Triumph for more sustain. Like whenever a champion dies, you will get some sustain. And since you have so much HP, you will get a lot of HP value. And otherwise, for the second bottom row, there's so many options. Like for the early game, if you're struggling against a hard team comp or hard laning phase, you can use Second Wind. You can use this. I think Toughness is the name, giving you resistance. What was it again? 10%. 10% tenacity and resistance. Not bad at all. You can use Ultimate Shield. When you pop your ultimate, you get a huge shield. You can use Bone Plating as well to reduce damage incoming. All of them are good options. Or the shield as well. For the second row, I would use... it's not called Hunter Genius anymore, but it gives you 12 ability haste, plus reducing the cooldown of an ability after level 11. So this one is also pretty good, since your cooldowns for the first and... No, especially for the second and third ability are pretty high. Sweet Tooth for some extra healing if you guys are struggling in the early game. Like, let's say you play against Zoe, a very strong early game poking champion, or against a Jace, then I think Sweet Tooth and Second Wind are very good. And you could also use... I don't think you need Mana Flow since we are running a Road of Age. But yeah, I guess that's about it. And like I said, Electrocute for some more burst damage in the early game. Works better for support. It's very popular on PC to use Electrocute in support position. You could also run Phase Rush. You will lack damage, but you will get more ability haste or more movement speed. So that's also viable. But I think Conqueror is the most consistent damage-wise. And it just gives you so much AP and Omnivamp, which is really good. And for the runes, I would just run Ignite Flash. For kill pressure and playmaking and escape abilities. But yeah, that's gonna be it for the YouTube video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe, and I see you guys next time. Bye bye.
Fire spreading all around my room. My world's so bright, it's hard to breathe, but that's alright. Hush.